journey for her. So nice moment there to end the first period of the entire Moorhead hockey team out there to salute Dr. Kovash, who's got a heck of a fight in front of her, and you could tell she was touched there, Coach, at the presentation of the stick.
Yeah, class act. Yeah, my wife used to teach over in Moorhead and said nothing but great things about her, and we wish her all the best.
Yep, no doubt about that. Scoreless game here in this opening period. We'll come back, get you updated on what's going on with this Spud hockey team. Our intermission report continues live from Moorhead right after this.
Shocking social media experiment.
Seriously, Sam?
You can't afford to miss. Plus, Private Part 911.
This is 15 minutes of fame that no man wants.
All new.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. on WDAY WDAZ.
Her friends knew.
2 weeks prior, she tried to hang herself in the closet.
But her dad had no clue until it was too late.
Bang, you wake up in the middle of the morning to a loud sound and you smell the smoke.
Now this dad is sharing his 11-year-old daughter's story to spread a message to save other kids from making the same deadly decision. Watch Madison's Secret tonight on the WDAY 6 News at 10.
From our family to yours, season's greetings and Happy New Year.
You're watching WDAY's Extra.
This is the Cass Clay Intermission Report.
Back live here at the Moorhead Sports Center. We are a scoreless game between the Rams and the Spuds after the first period. As we mentioned earlier on during the broadcast, the state of hockey is focused here on Moorhead in 2017-18. After a fabulous run for the Spuds last year, they got them to the state title game where they, of course, came up short for the 8th time when they lost to Grand Rapids. But the state was paying attention, knowing full well what Moorhead had coming back for this 2017-18 season. Over the summer, the Spuds were selected to play in Hockey Day, Minnesota. That'll be coming up in January in St. Cloud. And we just found out over the last couple of days that Fox Sports North will be following around this Spud hockey team this entire season for a documentary show called Dream State. WDAY's Joel Sipper has more on the Spuds in the Spotlight.
It's definitely something you'll always keep in your memories and be able to tell your friends and people you love about it, and it's going to be a great experience.
In Minnesota prep sports, there isn't a greater spotlight than playing high school hockey.
Not going to lie, we're all pretty excited about it.
For the Spuds, the spotlight will even be brighter this season. Moorhead will be featured on Fox Sports North's Dream State, a documentary series similar to the NHL's Road to the Winter Classic.
It's going to be a fun senior year for the whole team. We get to play in Hockey Day, Minnesota, and the TV show, and it's not something that everyone gets to experience.
Getting recognition for being one of the top hockey programs in the state is a nice pat on the back for the Spuds, but they know how they got there.
You know, more of a tip of the cap to our youth program and the things that we're doing there, and the community support and the players that we're producing and the people that we're producing outside of it. So, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see what we look like from the other side, I guess.
While it's nice having a camera crew follow them around and document their every move this season for regional TV, the Spuds want to keep focus on their goals.
The biggest thing that's been enforced by the coaches and by our team is we don't want it to get to our heads. We don't want to get too full of ourselves, but we're definitely excited for all the exposure.
There's a little bit of pressure. It puts our expectations pretty high to make the state tournament and have a good season, so it's quite a bit of pressure.
With the team they have and the way Moorhead is playing lately, they should be able to handle that spotlight. Reporting for Sports Sunday, I'm Joel Sipper.
Thanks, Joel, for that. Coach, you have dealt with media types like me all the time, but now when you've got a camera crew like this that's going to be following Moorhead all around, how do you, I guess, separate that, make sure the distractions, they're already dealing with a ton of expectations. They believe on the outside everybody's telling them they're really, really good. How would you deal with that as a head coach?
I think, we used to talk about, we used to have Wednesday coach talk, just no X's and O's, stay focused on what we do well, talk about ourselves, when you're excited for other people on our team, but you really got to stay focused. They're young kids, in the sense of young men, that it's easy to get distracted, but you got to take it all in stride. And stay focused within yourselves.
It's a great honor, obviously, for the city of Moorhead and obviously the hockey program. A, to get on Hockey Day Minnesota, and B, to have this TV show. But there's a lot of pitfalls that can come with this as well, because as better than anybody, there's a big X on their backs right now.
No doubt about it. You might get jealousy with other programs,
right.
but when you're a good program, you don't sneak up on anybody. People come to play you. We always wanted to beat Moorhead. If we had an opportunity to play Roseau,
right.
You want to beat those good teams. Ours was the Grand Forks teams. You're not sneaking up on anybody at Moorhead, and people love to tag you.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The Spuds have another doozy coming up on Saturday. Minnetonka will be here, and the Skippers are one of the top 5 teams in 2A. Our Cass Clay intermission report continues after this. We are scoreless in the first period with Moorhead and Roseau. Back to the Sports Center right after this.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Turn to your trusted team of meteorologists. WDAY Storm Tracker Weather. John Wheeler, 3 decades of forecasting. Jared Piepenberg. Andrew Whitmire. Lauren Hilko. Nick Maruziak. WDAY Radio. The Storm Tracker app, social media, and the forum. Powered by Kia of Fargo. Experienced meteorologists. The region's best team. WDAY Storm Tracker Weather.
I'm Kelsey Warren, CEO of Energy Transfer Partners. And now that the Dakota Access Pipeline is safely transporting Bakken crude, you may be wondering what is next for us here in the great state of North Dakota. We owe you a debt of gratitude for your unwavering support over the last several years. To that end, it has always been important for us to give back to the communities in which we do business, and that includes North Dakota. North Dakota can count on Energy Transfer.
This has been the Cass Clay Intermission Report.
Back inside the Moorhead Sports Center, the first intermission where the Spuds and the Rams are scoreless. Along with Dean Wilson, I'm Dom Izzo and our great WDAY's extra technical crew. Our first period highlights. We had no goals, but we had plenty of opportunities. As you see, the head coach of the University of Minnesota's hockey team is here, Don Lucia, in the house. He's got a couple of interested parties he's checking out here tonight. Coach, not a lot of scoring opportunities, some checks thrown around. You see Jack Stetz thrown around his weight, and Carter Ranklev tried that, but it was an even first period, even though the fact that the Spuds controlled the puck a majority of the time.
There's no doubt. Obviously the shots on net 9-4 in favor of the Spuds. Never had really any clean shots. There was a couple, obviously Briscoe on the point where it was about an inch too high, but overall not a lot of great opportunities, and that's what Ammerman's talking about in that locker room. We need to create some things and maybe look more, spread it out more backdoor kind of stuff.
I believe also UND hockey coach Brad Berry is here tonight, so you're not the only most esteemed coach in the building. I'm sorry to say that tonight, but that also adds a little bit of intrigue to this game when you've got 2 of the best college hockey coaches in the country in the building tonight.
No doubt about it. They don't make that journey unless there's people to watch.
That's exactly right.
And I always say that, you can send your assistants, but when it's somebody important, the head dog's got to be here. I don't know when I ever played. I don't know if the head dog was ever there, but, unless they were lost. But, there's some important people in the house, and they're here to watch some good players play.
Well, then Barry's here, from what we've been told, to look at and maybe sewing up a commitment from Carter Ranklev, who just a few weeks before the season started, he decommitted from Arizona State and opened his recruitment back up, and now possibility. I know he was at St. Cloud State over the weekend, looked at them. I think the Gophers are maybe trying to take a last-minute push on, but when you've got a talent like this, 75 miles to the south, you got to imagine that Mr. Berry wants him to play for the Fighting Hawks.
No doubt, and I was reading some stuff the other day, and since a month ago, about Arizona State had one of the top recruiting classes, which blew me away. I thought, no way, and and I know U of M and UND were right up there too. But anytime you get somebody that's available like that, and he's worth your while, you want to nab him up.
Got to imagine Arizona State's going to be okay if you can play in Tempe, and it's 70 degrees outside in January and February, right?
Well, they used to
and a brand new rink on the way too.
Well, they used to say way back when, Phil Esposito with Tampa Bay, and why are you going to be down there? And they said there was like 1.5 million snowbirds from the East Coast of Canada that live there during the winter months. So why wouldn't you have hockey down south? And Arizona's the same way.
The level of play, and you can attest to this, you've seen it up close for the last 25, 30 years from the high school level. It's just, even the last 10 years since I've been in this area, I mean, it's just gone just straight up in terms of talent level and how the players play. I mean, it's out of this world, both in North Dakota and in Minnesota.
Well, the access to the training facilities is amazing. These kids go all year long. They got great training facilities. The game has changed. These guys are so good and such just great positive training.
And you mentioned the fall league now. How much has that changed that? When you were coaching probably in your early days, that the guys were trying, the first 2 weeks of the season probably was just getting into shape. That's no longer the case. These guys are in prime form.
The first month we couldn't get 2 passes in a row. And these guys, you can see they're in sync. That none of them held back with Roseau and Moorhead. They got after it. And these guys will play against each other, and some will play with each other during those fall camps.
How much do you think that benefits as well? You take a risk, obviously, anytime you do play in any kind of sport. You take a risk, though, potentially getting hurt and maybe missing your high school or junior season if you go that route.
You have that factor, too, but these kids stay in good shape and they want to get after it. And if you truly have a passion for something, you get after it. I'm still a believer in going with the seasons, but sometimes it doesn't play out that way, and some guys don't want to play anything else. They want to just focus on their hockey career.
How much have you noticed that is the specialization of this? Because that's what we keep hearing is for coaches, college coaches say play as many sports as you can, but obviously when you get to a level like this, that you want to be playing more.
I love when they go with the seasons, and there's a lot of research out there about more injuries now. I think ACLs are up like 50% of kids just specializing. I like to see them stay with the seasons, but I've also had players that they focus on hockey and they got themselves to another level.
Shots after that first period, 9-4 in favor of Moorhead as we near the start of this second period. Rams, I mentioned, coming in their sixth game of the season. Losses to Grand Rapids, Edina, and Centennial. This is their opening game in the section for Moorhead. They opened up the year down to the Twin Cities, beat Lakeville North to start the season, and lost to St. Thomas Academy, and then have beaten 3 section opponents after that. They took out Brainerd, Buffalo, and Bemidji. The last time they played was a week ago tonight in Bemidji and got a 3-0 road win against the Lumberjacks. So a week off and now back on the ice.
The shots on net, I'd be more concerned if it was 15 or 20-4.
Yeah.
And then my other stat is that, it's still 0-0, and that's the big factor, and obviously Roseau wants to put more shots on net, and Moorhead wants to have more quality opportunities to put the puck in the net.
Roseau with wins over Thief River and Hibbing so far in this 2017-18 season. As I mentioned off the top, these have been the preeminent programs in 8AA. Bemidji had a nice run a couple of years back. Brainerd was in the mix, but one way or the other, these two teams are finding themselves playing for the right to go to St. Paul.
Hey, no doubt. And when you're always assessing what do you need to work on, where do you got to go. It's early, like I told you before. You don't get too high or too low. What do we need to improve on? We want to get better every day, 1% better every day. So we're ready to fly in late February.
Did you ever benchmark on when you were coaching, like by Christmas time, to say, okay, we know what kind of team we have by now, or is it even after the first of the year?
you know, it's hard to gauge sometimes. Like I said, I've done things where I've grinded them too hard, and we peaked in early December.
Yeah.
You know, where I was 10-0 and went, 10-10. You know, so we try to judge that too about where we're at and how to grind them. It's a little different than the junior level. You know, where Kerry Eads is playing 100 games,
right.
but yeah, you try to judge where you're at, and sometimes you know, you feel like you got a strong team out of the chutes, and you got to keep getting better. Early in the year with strong teams, specialty teams, which we haven't seen a penalty yet.
Yeah.
Specialty teams are huge, you know, so be interested to see if there's a penalty coming up, how those teams respond to that.
I say I was very impressed with how both teams were able to stay out of the box there. You know, there's going to be hits thrown. It's going to be a physical game, and that hasn't been the case so far yet in this game. So something to keep an eye on, as you mentioned, as we get into the second period. We mentioned 25 of the last 28 times one of these teams has won the section championship. The last time they played was late February last year, 2017, for the right to go to the state tournament, and this was a dominant performance by the Spuds. Cole O'Connell got everything going for Moorhead. This game being played in Thief River Falls. That top line was unstoppable that night. Jack Stetz scoring there en route to Moorhead, beating Roseau 6-0 and returning to the state tournament, where of course they had a phenomenal run where they won 2 games at state before they lost to Grand Rapids in the state title game. And there is nothing like the state hockey tournament in Minnesota, where the XL Energy Center is filled to the rafters there for high school hockey. And obviously one of these two teams hoping to represent Section 8AA in early March.
Yeah, it used to be my favorite time of the year. After the North Dakota was done, it was always a week later. Go there with our coach and staff, and we had a blast. No stress on us, just enjoy. And I mean, can you imagine playing in front of 15,000 people?
Man.
That's exciting.
Both teams coming back out here for this start of the second period. Big game coming up, obviously, for Moorhead, as I mentioned, this weekend, where they host Minnetonka in this building. Meanwhile, for Roseau, their season continues. After tonight, they have to go back on the road to get a bit of time off at Bemidji. 9 days between games. They don't play again until December the 21st. It's always the interesting part, I thought, too, about the schedule, especially before Christmas, that you might bunch up and play a couple games and then have a big stretch off. And it's also kind of hard to get your team gauge on how you're doing early on in the season.
Well, what I've learned over years of experience, they might have games off, but we didn't give them the time off.
Yeah.
Because there's too many distractions. You know, the seniors got the alumni coming back from college, and we still didn't want distractions. So we try to keep focused on keep practicing, maybe a good alumni game too.
Second period is underway. Spuds in the white jerseys with Carter Ranklev shooting into the zone already. Backhanded a pass, comes right out on Lee and knocked away. Ranklev back to it. This is Stetz. Stetz off the half wall into the slot. Lost control of it. On to Alex Verbout. Verbout will leave this. That shot, a save by Leonard from Nathan Adrian. Squirted loose there at the end. First real good opportunity of the game for the Rams. Off the stick of Nathan Adrian.
That seemed like a long whistle there. He had it covered up, and little bang on there by number 14.
Yep.
Check to see to get the dust off there. So
Geroy was the one to knock on the pads, which I know every goaltender loves when that happens.
No doubt.
Keep an eye on that as the puck comes back out near center. Johnson had it for a moment. Comes back on to Geroy's stick. Played a ton in that opening period. Number 14 in green. For his defense partner, Taylor Jacobson. Nearly lost the handle on that. Onto the captain's stick of Nathan Adrian. Shot back into the zone. Roseau tags back up as they're onside. Comes on here to Kyler Clevin. Trying to backhand a pass, but nobody was there. You mentioned Geroy with his reach. He's already 6'3", 6'4". I mean, his reach is almost 7 feet with a wingspan there, isn't it, with the stick?
Well, just kind of smiling. I thought, you know, it's a hockey town when you got a guy that's 6'3", 6'4".
He's playing hockey, right?
He's playing hockey. He's probably one of the few in the Roseau that can slam dunk it, too. Man. It's nice to have those good athletes. I think of Lemieux and stuff where they got that long reach.
Puck was knocked into the Spud bench, the Roseau bench, as the puck comes back out near center. Halliday had that one off the boards and sent back in by Brennan Borden. Taken away there from Kovalovog. Onto the near side. Carson Kovalovog will spin back. Backhands a pass to Grammer. That one tried to hook up that time with Parker Dronin. Comes in on Lee. He plays that one with the big goal stick over here on the near side. Out of the reach of Halliday. Borden on it now. Taken away from him by Landon Overbo. Backhanded into the zone from Paul Hughlin. Overbo with a shot. That one goes high of the net. On to the near side. Hughlin gets it ahead. On to Aaron Hughlin. He'll dump that one in. Hughlin, as we missed it, already committed to play for the Golden Gophers at Don Lucia. On to the near side. Played there by Larson. Backhanded a pass. That'll come right back in wide of Lance Leonard. Ethan Frisch on it. Frisch trying to get away from his forechecking Roseau Rams. Reed is all over Frisch, who's now behind his own net. Backhands a pass on to Nolan Westra. That goes straight up into the air. Brought down by Larson, who'll send that one in. On to get it is Horan. Played along the near side. They fight here along the near wall. That one comes right out in front of the slot. Overbo's pass was deflected away. Comes back out near center as Kovalovog will leave it for Grammer. Intercepted though. Shot in on Leonard. A good save there. Good chance from Taylor Johnson. Right place, right time. On it there is Jared Nelson. Taken away from him. Stetz trying to force his way in. Back to O'Connell. O'Connell throws it to the net. Loose puck knocked away there. Rebound chance in front. Stetz knocked down and a penalty is coming up. Our first of the hockey game is going to be a tripping call on Nick Giroy, as Stetz had a chance in the slot, and the Rams will be shorthanded.
You know, this is the time where you talk about it. Is it a good penalty? And he slashed him there, had to whack him, get it away from him, and sometimes they are good penalties, but he had to do what he had to do.
Adrian is the man whistled on the penalty. So he serves for 2 minutes, and the first power play of the hockey game goes to Moorhead. 13:46 remaining in the second on the Taco John scoreboard. Good keep by Frisch. Plays that a little bit deeper. Now on to the back. Leaves it for O'Connell. O'Connell in the slot. Pivots. Back to Frisch. Waiting. Deeper out of the reach of Ranklev. Good job there by Giroy to knock it away from him. Comes onto the back. Larson. Keeps it to Frisch. Back to O'Connell. Back to Frisch. Frisch waiting. Shot just goes wide of the net. Comes here on the near side, and Roseau able to get it out with Verbout. Verbout shorthanded with a shot, and a good save that time from Leonard. Loose puck in the slot. O'Connell had a backhanded away from Verbout. And back on it is Ethan Frisch, nearly halfway through the man advantage. Onto it is Stetz. Leaves it for Ranklev. Ranklev with a shot and a save. As Lee will hang on to it with a 1:05 remaining in the power play.
You know, I like how Roseau, they're sneaking out of there. They're putting pressure on them, so they're not giving them an opportunity to set up. You know, Moorhead, you know, they wanted to set up. They got to recognize that Roseau had two forwards peeled off. Right. You don't want to set up now. You might want to go for the throat. And that's early in the season, you know, where you got to recognize that kind of things.
That pass will go all the way down. Leonard will hang on to it. Set things up. Luke Grammer now out there for the Spuds on this power play. Change up the lines. Clevin. Tyler Clevin goes behind the net. All the way back onto the point. Kovalovog. Back to Clevin. Good forecheck there. That good penalty kill. Nicely done by Hughlin. Spuds have to get back onside. Backhanded pass there from Clevin. No one home. Hughlin goes off the glass and clears it. Good penalty kill here by the Rams.
Yeah, they've been aggressive getting on them, not giving them an opportunity to set it up.
Down to the final 15 of the man advantage. Headman pass on. Ranklev back out there. Ranklev waiting. Gives it back. Grammer. Stetz onto the ice fresh. Down to the final seconds, and the power play is over. Stetz from the slot. Shot and a save by Lee. He saw it all the way as Stets got right to the top of the circle to fire that one in.
You know, once again, Roseau's doing a good job of kind of putting pressure on, never letting them get really clean. They got a shot off at the tail end here, but compliments to Roseau again, you know, and early in the season where you want to get your power play strong like Moorhead.
11.5 remaining in the second, nearly halfway through the hockey game. Still scoreless. Back out to center. That's tipped on. Stets with a shot and it goes wide of the net. On the near side, Larson plays it deeper. Ranclev on it. Nicely defended there by Taylor Jacobson. O'Connell spins, gives it back to Ranclev. Ranclev now to O'Connell. O'Connell bouncing puck. Comes onto the back. Shot from Larson. Score! Ranclev tipped it, I think. And the Spuds draw first blood.
He might have. There was a lot of...
It was.
Obviously, the goalie couldn't see much in there.
Larson with a drive and a couple of skates in front. Let's see if
Jacobson's trying to tie up a little bit. Yeah, might have went off a skate, you know. Jacobson totally had the screen on for the goalie, so he couldn't see it. It'd be interesting to see if they give him credit for deflecting it, or did it go straight in and went off a Roseau player.
6:55, the time of the goal of the second period, to give the Moorhead Spuds the lead. On it now is Westra. Onto the back. Grammer wrists at the net. That one just goes wide. On the near side. Controlled there by Halliday. Plays it deeper. They'll give it to Larson, who took the shot. So Parker Larson credited with the goal. That shot from the point. Rebounds. Hit the pipe. The light came on, but it did not go into the net.
That might have been too easy for Haran.
Goodness, it was a yawning net. Another look here on this opportunity down low. Kavalovog shot it.
Comes out.
Haran's right there.
You know, he didn't get really good wood on it. You know, the end over end there, and he'll be seeing that in his sleep tonight. That was a pretty easy one.
He's shaking his head on the bench right now.
Yeah.
The light came on, but it never went across the goal line. It remains 1-0. So Parker Larson gets credit for the goal at 6:55, is what they're officially saying right now of the second period. Frisch lost the handle on it, had a wide open shot. That one deflected away. Good job there by Lee in front with a save. On the far side, Henkemeyer Howe trying to get it loose from Giroy. Comes onto the stick of Jacobson. Trying to move it ahead to Huglin, but taken away and backhanded. Now here's Giroy with it. Nick Giroy gets out. Near center. Here come the Rams. Center to pass in front. Goes through the slot and wide. Onto it is Giroy. Trying to be muscled off there by Parker Dronin. Frisch joins the fray. Giroy on it. In the slot. Couldn't get it loose. Dronin able to force it out of the zone. That one's caught up there. The Rams stay onside. Huglin, nice spinorama. Leaves it back. Backhanded shot and a save by Leonard. Paul Huglin in a glorious opportunity. Aaron Huglin trying to center it. Comes back here along the near side. That shot goes wide of the net. And back out. And here come the Spuds. Dronin off the pass from Frisch. He needs a change. Onto the back for Grammer. Play that one a little bit deeper into the zone. Left there for Olsen. Huglin lost an edge there. Dangerous, too. It was right in the middle of the ice. Paul Huglin leaves it. Brennan Borden plays that deeper into the zone. That one comes back out. Grammer with it. Pivots. Nice move there. Lost the handle on it, though. Top line back out for the Rams. Adrian on it. Onto the back. Halliday wanted to fire. Waits for some room. Gives it back to Nathan Adrian. Controlled along here on the half wall. Gave it to Verbout. Back over to Adrian. Taken away from him. And O'Connell gets it out. Stets with a head of steam. Jack Stets back for the Spuds. Trying to leave it. Backhanded a shot. How did he get it off? And a great save by Lee. How did he get a shot off there?
Yeah, it was amazing how he spun around like that.
Halfway through the hockey game, 1-0 Moorhead. Intercepted by Larson, who's got the goal. Offside are the Spuds, and the faceoff will come outside the zone.
Both teams are generating it. Spinning around here, throwing it right on net.
That's a great pad save there from Lee.
He's been giving up a few. That almost cost him against Horan, giving up those rebounds.
Off the draw, Larson. Shot passed it over. Frisch in. Frisch with it. Nearly had a chance at a highlight reel goal. Comes here on the near side. Nelson had it chopped away from him. He's got it back. Plays it here along the near side. That'll be shot back into the zone. Giroy on it one more time for Roseau. 7:20 remaining in the second period of a 1-0 game. Giroy. Gloved down there by Frisch. Frisch looking for some open room. Trying to get that ahead of Westra. Westra shot. That one goes through the slot. Onto the back. Larson with a shot. And that's a good